Welcome to this video on Filr Advanced add-on for OES, where we'll just have a look at what features are available. My name's Robin Redgrave. I'm a solutions consultant based out of the UK. So maybe first of all we should just discuss what actually is Filr. So Filr solves two problems for you. One is how remote users can securely access files that are sitting on your existing file system. And the second is how users can share those files with not just colleagues internally, but also with external users as well. So in most environments, you have files that are sitting on existing servers. Typically, it's going to be OES or indeed Windows. And you've got the users, be them internal, external users, using a number of different devices who want to access those files. And what Filr does is just sit in the middle between those, acting really as a portal to the file systems behind. It's delivered as a virtual appliance, so you can just import it into your hypervisor and very quickly get it set up. So Filr Advanced is an add-on that you've got for Filr Standard. Filr Standard is an entitlement that you get with your Open Enterprise Server or Open Workgroup Suite maintenance, and that gives you the capability for remote access and indeed sharing those files. But there are a number of additional features that Filr Advanced can give you. If you're already running Filr Standard, it's very easy to upgrade to Filr Advanced. You just need to add that new license. There's no need to reinstall or anything, so it takes a minute or two to actually come up to Filr Advanced. So let's just have a look at some of the features that you've got there. First of all, there's custom branding. With Filr Standard, you've got branding of the web interface where you can add in logos and backgrounds and so on. But what Filr Advanced brings you is the ability to set branding for the Mac and Windows desktop and also for your mobile devices, so typically your iOS and Android mobile devices. This can include adding corporate logos, putting in corporate colors, and so on. The next thing that you have is net folder sharing. Whilst you can share folders from within My Files with the standard edition, what this does is let you share folders from the net folders site. So your shared volumes and so on, you can share those out to users. It does a little bit of checking when you share a folder, what rights have you got. So it's only going to let you share with view rights if there's a directory you've only got view rights that you're trying to share and so on. The next thing is file type blocking, which actually is a bit of ransomware protection. So we run a little bit of technology in Filr Advanced that will check the signature of a file, that it actually matches the extension that you're trying to upload. So if there's a ransomware encrypted docx file, for instance, because the signature is likely not to actually look like a Word document, is not going to let you upload and overwrite an existing valid version of that document. Next is that we have the Microsoft Outlook plugin. This is very useful in that I can attach a pointer to a file in Filr rather than the actual file itself. So if I'm trying to send a large document to someone that's going to get bounced, I can just put a pointer to it from Outlook to the file in Filr. I've got options around that as well, where I can force people to have to authenticate. Even if they're external users, they can do a self-sign-up and authenticate to access that file. And of course, we've got full auditing on that, so I know exactly who's accessed that file. Just so you're aware, with Filr Standard, and if you're running group-wise, we have similar capabilities there, though those capabilities, if you've got Filr Advanced, are actually increased. Next thing we've got is multi-factor authentication. So this can work for your LDAP users and means that when they authenticate to Filr, they have to enter in an additional authentication method. So typically this would be a SMS one-time password, time-based one-time password, or indeed maybe even an email one-time password, and ensures that the user that's authenticating really is the user that you think they are. With Filr Advanced, you do get an entitlement with your maintenance to OpenText Advanced Authentication Limited, so there's no additional license cost to get this working. If you wanted to, you can upgrade that to a full advanced authentication product. Obviously, there's license costs involved in that. That will give you methods such as smartphone push notification, facial recognition, geofencing, where you can only authenticate, for instance, if you're within a particular building, and so on. Just so you're aware, we do have another additional license which will give MFA for your external users. So for your external users, when they're accessing a file that's been shared with them, they also can be forced to go through a second factor to prove who they are. Just be aware that even though the Power External User license is chargeable, if you're not using MFA on external users, all those external users' licenses are free. You don't have to pay anything for that. We also have share access report and email notification. So what this means is if I share a file with multiple people, the first person who actually accesses that share will generate an email that I'll receive telling me that that share's been accessed. But I do have an access report where I can see each user that's a recipient of that share, have they accessed that share, and indeed at what time. The next feature that we've got here is file request. I find this quite useful and use it quite a bit myself because people keep trying to send me large log files. But what this allows me to do is generate an email for an external user, for instance, and then they can click on that link that they receive and upload a file into my file system. Once that has been uploaded, I'll get an email telling me that it's been uploaded. So I know I don't have to keep checking if they've actually uploaded that file. Another feature is multi-tenancy. So from my one Filr environment, I can actually have multiple Filr domains pointing at that, and each one of those host names having a different Filr system behind it. Different users, different shares, different settings. So this is quite useful if you're planning on hosting Filr for multiple organizations, if you want to split students from staff in an educational environment, or indeed if you've got a organization where you've got multiple public facing entities and you want, for instance, NetIQ, you want to have Micro Focus, you want to have OpenText, all with their own branding and setup. So that's something that we can do with multi-tenancy. We have the capability with the mobile client to download a whole folder structure and put that onto my mobile device. So rather than having to download file by file, I can just pick a folder and say, make that available offline, and everything in that folder will be pulled down to my mobile device. Probably the most major thing that we've got there is the online co-editing. So what this does, it allows me to online edit a document, and there's some security things around that, so I can say don't allow people to save that as a different file name, don't allow copying of data outside that document, and so on. But what that also does is allow me to have multiple people editing the document at the same time, and if the little bit of the document that I've got downloaded onto my workstation, the half page or whatever, is where they're editing, I can see what they're typing, indeed as I'm typing, and they can see what I'm typing as well. So a very powerful capability there. Another item we've got is Teamworks. So what this is it's a collaboration appliance that allows you to have chat-based rooms that people can enter, leave messages, They can have documents in there and indeed can use the online editing against those documents as well. And you can post messages, have replies to messages, and so on in there. Something else that we've got is SIEM capabilities. Every action within Filr, if I view a document, if I share the document, if I download it, if I view it, all of those sorts of things are generating an event in Filr which is logged. What we can do with Filr Advanced is actually send those events to a SIEM environment for analysis, and then that can analyze what's happening and send out alerts or react if something's happening that shouldn't be happening. Next thing we've got is T-Drive support. This is only relevant if you're running OpenText hybrid workspaces. This will allow hybrid workspaces to access the Filr environment through their T-Drive and access files that are stored in Filr. We also have versioning in there. So as I edit a document, it will keep previous versions. I can promote versions to be the current version if I want to get rid of changes that have happened. Just be aware that this is only available on your personal storage. It's not available on the network storage yet. Another feature is data leak prevention. So currently I can specify an administrator for NetFolder, and that administrator can manually set DLP options on a file. That user can find files that are not allowed to be shared or should not be shared externally and flag that so that they cannot be shared externally. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully this has shown you a little bit about what's included in the Filr Advanced add-on for OES.